Hi, I'm Tomasz Pordy, co-founder and CEO of CogniFlow, the droplet biotech instrumentation spin-off of Tallinn University of Technology. In a series of vlogs roughly every month, me and my team will talk about what we're working on, how Droplet Factory development is progressing, when services and products can be expected to be available, and also introduce ourselves as a team. There are 3 updates for this month, and one of those has a major impact. 1. We are testing incremental updates to the Droplet Factory sensor assembly. This is the module that can visualize cells in droplets. 2. We are assembling more twin flow pump modules. You can watch last month's video for details. It's the same with a minor difference. Now we have a warehouse. It's a cabinet dedicated to the pump. We also have an assembly protocol, and now we have evidence that students can also put the pump together. And 3, which is the most impactful, is we got selected among the winners of the European Innovation Council Pre-Accelerator grant, the little brother of the prestigious Accelerator grant aimed at deep tech in the widening region. First, let's talk about the Droplet Factory sensor assembly. So in the first episode, I spoke about the Droplet Factory CORE platform, which you can engage as a service. Sample in, result out. This is a huge system of instruments in our lab. It's not portable. However, I also mentioned that we are working on a bench-top platform, the DropletFactory BENCH, which is a portable setup that you can deploy module by module. Last time we talked about the first module of this, the twin flow pump. And here you can see an early render of the DropletFactory BENCH, as it will look something like this. This time, we're going to focus on the next set of modules that will enable analyzing objects in droplets. Today we speak about brightfield detection, which means visualizing cells inside droplets in 2 dimensions as dark objects. Here you can see an image of droplets with algae cells. The cells are circled for easy visualization. Why this is important is because in certain use cases you need to know exactly how many cells are in a droplet. Sometimes you need precisely 2. And whether colonies are forming or not, which you can see by how much of the droplet is filled out with the cells. Fluorescent signals are not always available either, which is, of course, the mainstay of detecting microbial activity still. This photo that I'm showing was from an early publication back in 2024, but now we are focusing on improving image clarity by tuning the focal distance more precisely and usability, especially usability. And in this video, you can see our guys testing our simplified assembly, which will be easier to use for biologists. Now let's talk about the EIC Pre-Accelerator. CogniFlow applied for the European Innovation Council, EIC in short, Pre-Accelerator back in November 2025. When I saw and read the conditions earlier, I thought, TRL 4 to 6, deep tech SME, this is exactly for us. It was definitely a factor in pushing for incorporation. And last week, we got the good news. After several crashes of the funding and tenders portal, I finally got the news from the national contact point that the results are in and we win. After the results came in, with 95.6% of the total score. So the whole team was like, what? I hope for a seal of excellence, but this, it was quite a surprise, a very positive one. So what's the project about? What do we want to do? Well, it's actually quite simple. This is for implementing the DropletFactory bench. So taking everything that the DropletFactory CORE can do and packaging it into a suitcase-sized box. Some of the components of this are already on functional prototype level. Some still have to be integrated. There are various levels of development for each of the modules. But true to our core principles, we would like to keep it modular, so even the smallest biolabs will be able to afford an entry-level configuration But scale-ups and industrial labs in large industry won't lack in capacity either. In terms of performance, we are aiming for the same numbers as always, but now we have the support to realistically deliver. We would like to upgrade biolabs screening microbes from well plates and pipetting robots to droplet-based ultra-fast screening, going up to 50,000 cells per day effective throughput. And that is not even a very large screening library in this field. Libraries can go up to 1 million variants. Now take that into account that currently only about 30 to 40 variants can be effectively screened per day in well plates. This can go a little bit higher with multiplexing, but then each time you will need to invest in additional capacity. On the other hand, if you want to switch to droplet-based systems, that is at the moment prohibitively expensive. We're talking 300, 400,000 euros. That is untenable. It has to change to allow small biolabs to scale their innovation and grow to reach the global stage. We are really glad for this strong support signal that independent experts in the EU believe in us and share our mission, and we really hope that we can make many SME biolabs happy. And from now on, we will proudly wear this logo, and as much as possible, we'll aim to stay true to the Made in Europe label. Buy European. That was all for this month. See you in the next video. Until then, this was CogniFlow. Stop tinkering, focus on science. Choose less hassle, choose DropletFactory. Take care, my friends.